how I disappeared in the river for 8 hours straight without even knowing that I've disappeared. Now, this happened many, many moons ago, where I was with my cousin and we went for a swim in a local river. So we grew up in an area where there is a river, and that river, there is a part where there's a waterfall. A beautiful, beautiful place. There's even a name for it, which I'm not going to mention. So while I was with my cousin, we met up with our friends and we decided to go for a swim. Now, we grow up being told not to go to the river and not to swim. But anyway, we do it. We go, we were kids. We really didn't know the dangers, except that they said we could drown. So we went anyway. In any case, the water wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep. It was probably up to our waist. So we got there, took off our clothes, started playing. It was fun. We found other kids there. We were having so much fun there. And while we were there having a bliss, this woman came with a basket and she was wearing all white and she had very beautiful, beautiful hair. And this woman, we could not see her feet, but the way her dress was so long, it was beautiful. And she started washing clothes there. And she kept looking at us. She kept looking at us to the point where, because I really admire beautiful people, I admire beautiful women, I went up to her and I told her how beautiful she was. And she said I was pretty too. And which obviously at that time I felt so good to hear that coming from her. And I asked her where she was from or where she lived, because I'd never seen her before in our village. And she told me that she lives around. She lives around the place. So she didn't specifically say where, but she told me that she's always there at the river. So if I wanted to see her, I would find her there. And I was like, okay. After me and my friends swimming, I then decided to go and tell her that I was leaving and that I would be back some other time. I just don't know when. Then she said to me, you should come back, tomorrow. And she gave me a specific time in the afternoon. She said, come around then and I will have something nice for you. So I was so excited that I was like, yeah, I'll come back. I'll definitely come and see you. Then I left with my cousin, with her friends, and I told them about her, what she had said. So we both left, but my cousin and my friends, they were not really interested in this woman, and they never saw her face because every time she faced the direction of the waterfall, and she was doing her laundry at that time. So then we got home and no one even noticed that we were swimming, because by the time we got home we were already dry, honey. The following day I then decided I was gonna go again. So I asked my cousin to go with me and I left with her and we found other kids. And while we were there, we were playing. My cousin is someone who likes people, so she gets along with everyone. She makes friends very easy. I don't make friends easily, so for me it's kind of difficult. I'm not a mean person. I'm a very nice person, but I don't easily make friends. So I then saw the woman again, but this time she was not doing any laundry. She was just sitting. And I went to her and I was like, "Hi, you said I should come. I came, you know?" And she said, "Okay, I want to show you something." And I was like, "Yeah, what did you get me, you know?" And she said, "Well, let's go. I want to show you." And I was like, "Where are we going?" And she said, "No, just here. It's just here in the water. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's not far. She was like, yeah, just here. And she held my hand. And I remember I felt myself moving inside like something like a tunnel. I felt my body slipping where I could not control, and she held my hand so tight. And I could feel her hand slipping, but slipping as in like her skin was not as normal skin. It was more slippery, almost like plastic. Then we got to a place where now I was now seeing like sort of like caves in the water, and I don't know what they call this. They call them, or they're called ponds. Yeah. So there were like this round ponds in there, and we were now inside like a cave. So we are not in the water. There are parts where there's water, but we are not in the water. And this woman now, remember when I was seeing her and we were together there by the river, she looked very young. She was very young and beautiful. And now all of a sudden, she looked different. She looked different, like in a way that her skin was now pale. She looked a bit scary, like gray, and her teeth were sharp. They were not the same. I could see it's the same person, but it was not her. Like in a way, the way she was different. She didn't look the same, but I could see it's the same person. And while we were there, she said, I want to show you my home because you're such a nice person and you belong in this world with us. And that's the moment where I realized that I was in a place that I don't know. And that's when I realized that, you know, this person is not what I thought she is. But in any case, I didn't feel any danger. I felt safe because of the way she was talking to me. And I felt safe because even the place, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful that I don't think I even understood where we were. I just thought, okay, this is another part. But I was still confused and puzzled about how we got there, why I had to slip into like a tunnel, which you can say it's like a vortex. So when we were there, she was like, look, you're gonna have to follow me. When I move to one part to another, you follow me and you do what I do. Then that's when I noticed that she didn't have legs. She didn't have legs. Okay. I don't want to say what she had, but she didn't have legs there, down there. Then I continued the journey with her. She assured me that I was okay and that I would be okay. But I just continued with her anyway because honestly, I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel scared. I was just puzzled and amazed at the same time because of how beautiful that place was. When we eventually got out of the cave, we got out into a dry land, a beautiful, beautiful land where we saw people, but people that were very different. Others were like extremely tall, others were like extremely short, others were very beautiful, and others were very just strange looking, and they had very different futures that I cannot even explain or describe. So while we were there, she was just showing me around, and she had said to me, look, if you ever want to come and you want to live here with us, you can come. But he said, I want to introduce you to someone, and this is someone